Buying gold in the short term. Is it really a good idea? And how does it compare to long-term gold? Hey everyone, welcome to Campbell's Coins. Oh man, there's a reason I talk about gold in the long term and not the short term. But what if you're buying in the short term? Is that a good plan? We're seeing the exact reason right now why buying gold in the short term is not a good idea. Gold is currently around $1,650. What if you bought gold in March 2020 at the all-time high of $2,080? You're hundreds of dollars from breaking even, $500 at a minimum. So if you bought gold to hold and sell for some other investment opportunity like property, as I hear some talking about, you're so much worse off than if you just held cash. That's why I never understood why these individuals were buying gold at the top of the market to flip into a land deal or something else when there's so many unknowns in the short term. It might sound like I'm advocating for cash or the dollar. I'm not. I'm seeing a lot of reversals. Those who once said cash is trash to cash is king. Ray Dalio is one such individual. I still think cash is trash. I'm not going to reverse my position on that. Just because its supposed value is up right now doesn't mean it suddenly has value to me. However, that doesn't mean that I don't recognize the current market opportunities. Currently, the dollar is doing somewhat well compared to everything else. And with the value of nearly everything dropping, it's worth holding on to that cash to scoop up those good deals. These deals will get better with a market crash. But we could also have a market collapse and a currency collapse. And if that were to happen, assets would be key. But this notion of buying gold to flip into another investment in the short term is very foolish. Gold in the short term is a 50-50 coin flip. You might come out ahead, but more than likely you'll come up short because of the premium on the gold you purchased. A 1 ounce gold eagle or buffalo will have a $100 premium on them at a minimum. Most premiums I'm seeing for these pieces is $225. If the price of gold drops $100, you're down $325 because of the spot drop and premiums paid. If gold continues falling to $1,500 or even $1,300, as some suggest could happen, your short-term investment is not doing so hot. The one gold coin I'm seeing hold some value right now are the 10th ounce gold eagles. What we are seeing right now highlights the volatility with gold during economic uncertainty. People sell liquid assets to cover other costs, whether it's a job loss, rent, their mortgage, stock market, margin calls, etc., etc. My point is, when people need cash immediately, they liquidate things which sell the quickest. Gold is one of those very liquid items. This is why the Bank of Switzerland reclassified gold from a Tier 3 asset to a Tier 1 asset in 2019. This is their way of saying gold is as good as cash. This is also one of the reasons the price of gold and silver fall when economic crashes happen. I never buy gold with the thought to flip in the short term. Anything within a year is short term to me. What's happening to gold's price right now is a very cherry-picked example of why it's a bad idea. If you were to look at 2019, when I was also buying gold, and a snapshot of holding it through 2020, you would think it's a great time to own and flip gold. And many people did, especially through the lockdowns. Point is, there are times it can be beneficial to you, and there are times it can be detrimental. I buy for the long term. In the long term, gold does very well. Here's a gold chart for the last 20 years. Yeah, there are some up and downs, but long term, there's a steady growth. In fact, gold has outperformed the S&P over this 20-year period too. As I pointed out in previous videos, gold has performed really well this year, even though it has been dropping and lost about 8.5% in 2022. It's outperformed the Dow, which fell 18.57%. The S&P fell 21.6%. The Nasdaq fell 30.69%, and Bitcoin is falling currently around 61% in 2022. In terms of dollars, gold has dropped. But outside the United States, gold's performance in relation to other currencies has been doing moderate to very good. Your time is your most precious asset, and I really do appreciate you spending it here with me. Thank you all for watching. This is Campbell's Coins, and that is my 2 cents.